Welcome back to another video. I have had so many requests to do a sort of behind the scenes how did you record the song video or whatever in response to my Hermitcraft episode. So I'm going to show you the editing software, talk a little bit about how I did this, and also I'm going to show you the setup. The setup is in front of us. We have the guitar first of all, this beautiful blue Ibanez, and I can't remember the name of it, I just play it. Yeah, that's the guitar I used. I used that guitar, yes, and that guitar goes into this pedal board right here. This is my pointing stick to point at all the things. The first thing we have is a chromatic tuner, which I use to tune the guitar. Then we have our compression sustain, which is something I sometimes use when playing acoustically. I can't remember if I used that or not. Then we have my overdrive pedal, which is the precision drive. If you are looking for a modern metal sound pedal, it's got a noise gate built in. This thing is fantastic. It's made by Horizon Devices. I absolutely love it. That signal then goes all the way up here to my loop station, which allows you to record loops and play them back to yourself and then play over the top of it. I actually use that as a signal splitter at the moment to send it off to my other computer, which is somewhere over in that direction. But for this video I didn't actually use my second computer to record the guitar, which is how I've done it before. But we'll come back to that in a second. So then from the loop station we go down to the Echo Rec, which is a form of reverb pedal. I'm not terribly impressed with this, but it does the job. It just doesn't have a lot of options in my opinion, for what I want anyway, for my taste. Then that goes into a chorus ensemble. This was on relatively light. That gives it a little bit more flavour in the acoustic sound. That goes through to an EQ, which I think was flat for the acoustic recording. When I play metal, I shape the tone a little bit, but I don't really know what to do for acoustic. Then that goes into my amplifier, this Marshall that's hidden behind my desk because we are underneath the computer. We're looking under the computer. That's why I have to use a stick, because of where I can put the camera, and my headset has to be on my head. Anyway, so I had this brilliant idea of using this microphone, a condenser mic. It's a Blue Yeti, and this is how I think most bands record, apart from ones who use a lot of electronic equipment on the computer, like with simulated amps, is that they put a microphone in front of the amplifier. And I thought that this was going to sound terrible, right? And I put it in front of there and I went, that sounds really good. That sounds great for an acoustic tone. So I plugged that in. I learned to play how the song. I had like, I don't know, like about 30 minutes time to learn and practice the song, and it's a style I don't normally play. So let's check that bit out next. So here is the tablature of the guitar. The numbers represent the number on the fret. So 0 would be open, the first fret would be 1, 2, 3, etc. I mean, you don't even need to know anything about music to understand that. And then going down the guitar, so lower string to higher string, each little line with a number on it, that represents the string. So you can probably understand what you have to do to play this. But I'll press spacebar on the computer, will play it for us, and it's going to sound a little bit janky. And oh, what's going on? What's going on? It's muted. Sometimes this is muted. Let's go over here. There it is. Yeah, sometimes it's muted. Let's go back to here again then. Now you can hear the song, right? Doesn't sound as good because it's not on a real instrument, but it's good enough to know what you've got to do. So basically you have two different chord shapes, D and G as it says at the top. Then you've got the EM, which I think is E major or minor. Not really sure, I don't know my music theory. And so now you've kind of heard everything that I played in the song to some extent. So I had to teach myself to play that. In all fairness, it's a very simple song, but usually I play a very different style of guitar. Then when I went to record it, my fingers just went to butter, you know. It was, I got a bit nervy, let's say, and actually found it really difficult. As soon as I hit record, all of this became difficult to play. Without it, I could do it just fine. So when I was playing the song, I had the microphone in front of the amplifier. That was going into a program called Audacity. I would save them as WAV files, which I could then import into my video editing software. The reason I use this is it's actually pretty competent for putting a few audio tracks together. You can have several audio channels, which are what these ones are on the side here, and then you can put effects on them as well. So you can click the little effect button, and example, that all that's got is volume. It's got a volume boost on it. So then for recording the vocal, I literally put the same microphone on my desk, and I actually did that vocal in one take. And there was one thing that I couldn't do to it, so you can go back and listen to it, or I could play it for you right now. Don't let yourself down. You might have been able to hear it there, but when I pronounce the letter S, on this microphone it's not so bad. On that one it picks it up a lot. You get this hissing sound, and if you listen to the whole thing in the video again, you'll hear it quite a lot. You need something called a de-esser to get rid of that, and I have that on my other computer, but I recorded all of this on this one so I could do it quickly, and it's not the the most important thing in the world. But yeah, you'd want to put a de-esser on here, and there isn't one available unless there's one that has a different name or in blind or something like that. I don't know. That would take the edge off the hissing sound there. So that's how I did it. I'm trying to remember where more of the effects are. I think they're actually put into the audio track itself. So you can put them on individual clips, or you can put them on the audio track and it gets applied to everything. One of these had like a bass boost because I noticed that there was a lack of bass. There you go. And that's me just grabbing it and going whoop, like that, and oh, that sounds better. If you want to do a proper EQ, you really need to pay attention to all the different numbers and think about where the frequencies are. But I was, under some time constraints because I wanted to record the episode and get this intro done. And yeah, and then when it comes to these different sections, you'll notice that this is repeated, and the reason why is because I didn't record enough of it. I only thought I needed one take. Then I went and listened to the lyrics and I was like, oh, I need 2 takes. And then the bit after it, I also went and copied this bit back to it on the end as well. So there were 3 different sections. There's also a second guitar, which I didn't show you in the other program. So let's hop back and take a look at that. And here is the second guitar track, which I forgot about. You also got the drums and bass, and the sound of the drums and bass that you hear in the song is from this program. So there's the drum line. You can see the tablature for drums because I learned to play drums when I was a kid. Like, I can read that tablature. You could use this program. It's called Guitar Pro to learn drums and all sorts of instruments for it, which I think is really cool. The bass line is incredibly simple, but that second guitar tells you what direction to strum in. That's what the arrow is. And I believe I got the timing of strumming these chords wrong because I was rushing myself. So it might sound a little bit different in the actual recording that I made. And I've just realised that's basically it. I've said everything I've needed to say. So I can sign off for this video. I hope you enjoyed the little behind the scenes thing. I'm still working on my guitar covers. That'll be here in the near future. And from the first one, after I've done the first one, you should see I'm trying to get like 1 a week out. That's my plan. On my day off, record a guitar cover every week. So getting you guys hyped up because I need to put pressure on myself to finally do this. Very close to doing it now. So again, hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.